There is a strange kind of panic that happens when the thing you depend on every day suddenly feels uncertain, not because it failed you, but because the rules around it change. We often think of the economy as numbers on a screen: stock markets, inflation percentages, unemployment data, but the real economy is much simpler. It's measured at the checkout counter, in the price of milk, in the cost of basic clothing, and for millions of families, it's measured inside one store. That store is Walmart. For decades, Walmart represented something very specific: predictability, low prices, the idea that no matter what happened in the world, essentials would remain affordable. But that deal is now under pressure. And not because consumers stopped shopping, and not because Walmart forgot how to move goods. The pressure is coming from policy, specifically from tariffs. Tariffs sound complicated, but the concept is simple. A tariff is a tax placed on imported goods at the border. And despite political slogans, that tax is not paid by foreign countries. It is paid by the company importing the goods. Companies like Walmart. Walmart operates on extremely thin margins. It doesn't make big profits on individual items. Its model depends on selling massive volumes at very low prices. When tariffs increase the cost of imported products by 10%, 20%, or more, Walmart has only two choices: raise prices or reduce what it sells. Raising prices breaks Walmart's core promise. Reducing inventory changes availability. Either way, the consumer feels it. This is why reports about Walmart rethinking its U.S. strategy matter so much. Not because Walmart is leaving America, but because the economics of serving American consumers are becoming harder. Walmart's supply chain is global by design. For decades, the system worked like this. Manufacturing happened overseas. Goods moved efficiently across borders. Prices stayed low. This was the trade-off of globalization. America lost some factory jobs, but consumers gained affordable access to everyday goods. Walmart became the physical symbol of that system. Now that system is being disrupted. Aggressive tariff policies, first introduced and expanded under the Donald Trump administration, are changing the math. What started as targeted trade measures has escalated into broader protectionism. When tariffs apply across entire categories of goods, the impact compounds fast. A $1 increase on a $5 item doesn't sound dramatic. But if Walmart only earned 50 cents on that item, the profit disappears entirely. Selling that product now means losing money. No company can sustain that. So Walmart does what rational businesses do. It adapts. It looks toward markets where importing goods is less costly. It invests more heavily in regions like Mexico, India, and Southeast Asia. It reallocates capital away from areas with higher regulatory friction. This isn't politics, it's arithmetic. The consequences, however, are deeply human. When prices rise, the burden isn't shared equally. Higher costs hit low-income families hardest. Economists call this a regressive effect, meaning the poorest households pay the highest price relative to their income. For wealthy consumers, a price increase is inconvenient. For working families, it can be devastating. And in many parts of the United States, Walmart is more than a store. It's the grocery store, the pharmacy, the clothing outlet, the employer. When Walmart reduces selection or raises prices, entire communities feel it. This is where the contradiction becomes clear. Tariffs are often promoted as tools to protect American workers. But in practice, they can reduce jobs in logistics, retail, and transportation, sectors that employ millions of Americans. Fewer imports mean fewer shipments. Fewer shipments mean fewer drivers, fewer warehouse workers, fewer store employees. The jobs affected aren't abstract, they are local. Another important reality is timing. Even if tariffs eventually encourage domestic manufacturing, supply chains don't rebuild overnight. Factories require investment. Workers need training. Infrastructure takes years. In the meantime, consumers face higher prices and reduced access. This gap between political goals and economic reality is where instability grows. When prices rise and shelves thin out, blame shifts quickly. Corporations are accused of greed. Companies are framed as unpatriotic. But the incentives matter. Walmart is a publicly traded company. It has a legal responsibility to remain profitable. It cannot absorb permanent losses to make a political statement. Expecting corporations to ignore market forces isn't strategy, it's fantasy. The larger risk here isn't just about Walmart, it's about the United States' reputation as a stable, predictable market. For decades, global businesses viewed America as the safest place to invest. Clear rules, reliable institutions, massive consumer demand. When policy become